Back in November 2024, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp shut down. And then it relaunched a week later as Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete. And with this new version basically removing everything that made me hate the game, I decided to buy it while it was on sale and play for an entire month to see if I would actually enjoy it this time around. Since I hadn't played in a very long time, before that last video at least, I thought it would be best for me to reset my game and start fresh. Sure, it means losing all my progress, but since it had been a while, I don't really feel any attachment to the game, so I don't mind. The game begins with a one-on-one conversation with KK Slider, reminiscent of the original game's intro. He asks what I would do if I went on vacation tomorrow, to which I said I'd explore nature, and that's it. I guess KK Slider had other places to be. Rather than your answer determining your face, you actually get to customize your character from the start. This is the second game to let you do this, the first being Happy Home Designer, and there's tons of hairstyles and skin tones to choose from. It's nice to be able to have your player actually look like you in this game, but since it isn't necessary, I decided to give myself blue hair. And now it's time for the game to actually begin. It has the same art style as New Leaf, so it felt nice to play with it once again since that game is one of my favorites in the series. I pulled up in my camper to a place where I met Isabel, who told me I'm the new camp manager she's been waiting for. I'm the what? Yeah, this game follows the same story beat as New Leaf, where you just accidentally become the new leader of a place, but it just immediately abandons that and you move on and just accept your fate. I gave my name to Isabel and just decided to become a camp manager with zero experience, I guess. Since I'm in charge, it's up to me to decorate the place and invite people to stay here, but Isabel is going to set up the campsite for now to help me out. She asks for my ideal theme, and between natural, cute, sporty, and cool, I chose natural because I love wood. Each theme comes with different furniture to start with and also shows one villager who is a fan of said theme, Goldie in my case, which will be helpful later on. She's a bit short on crafting materials however, so Isabel sends me off to Breezy Hollow to see if anyone over there is willing to trade them in exchange for me helping them out. And it turns out Goldie just happens to be there and is in need of an apple. How convenient. Breezy Hollow is home to various fruit trees, so I harvested all of them before chatting with Goldie. There's your standard 5 fruits: apples, oranges, peaches, cherries, and pears, as well as a special fruit that depends on where you live. I finally said hi to Goldie and we yapped for a bit before she casually brought up that she was in need of an apple, and since I'm big-brained, I already had one to give. Goldie was surprised that I just had one this entire time, and that there weren't even any bites in it. Why would I keep a half-eaten apple in my pocket? What am I, a lazy villager? Anyways, the reason she needed an apple was so she could make smoothies, and since I helped out, she invited me to join her, and we actually made smoothies together. Like, there's a cutscene with animations for it, and we're actually doing it. New Horizons could never. As a reward for helping out, I got 400 bells and 6 pieces of cotton. And this is the introduction to the main mechanic of the game. You fetch various items for villagers and you get crafting items in return to create furniture. As you help villagers, you gain friendship points, 4 in my case with Goldie, and if you gain enough of them, your friendship will level up. You get rewards for leveling up your friendships, those normally being bells and extra crafting items, including essences, and when your friendship levels up, it makes progress towards your player level. So now I'm a third of the way to level 2. When I headed back to the campsite, I was met with 2 divas, Reese and Cyrus, and though I wanted to queen out with them, the game forces you to talk to Isabel again. Before doing so, you can see that she's managed to decorate the campsite pretty nicely. Everything was provided by Reese and Cyrus, obviously, and all that's missing is a place to sit. And it's just my luck that Goldie gave me cotton, because that's exactly what I needed to craft a ranch couch, plus 500 bells. It takes 1 real minute for Cyrus to craft it, but Isabel lets us know that we can just speed up the process using leaf tokens, the new currency that replaces leaf tickets in this game. Personally, I would rather just wait the 1 minute it would take for it to finish, but I was forced to spend my hard-earned leaf token that Isabel gave me for free. And now that I have the couch, let's place it down in a designated spot rather than choosing, because this is the tutorial after all. Now that the campsite is ready to go, it's time to invite someone to visit. And it's kind of lucky that my only friend at the moment just happens to be a fan of the items we have, so let's invite Goldie. And look at her queening out on that chair and breathing heavy on that hammock. What an iconic first guest. We are off to a great start as camp manager, even though we literally didn't know that was gonna happen when we woke up today. To celebrate the end of the tutorial, Isabelle rewards us with an outdoor fun starter pack, which contains 2,000 bells, a sea and river throw net, a jar of honey, 3 fertilizer bags, and 15 pieces of cotton and wood. And she also lets us know that if we ever need her, she's over at the marketplace. But with that, we're on our own and it's officially time to play the game. You unlock 4 new contacts right away: Rosie, Jay, and Apollo, who were the 4 other starting villagers, and Filbert, who I believe everyone starts off with. Each time you unlock new villagers, which happens every time you level up going forward, you also get new crafting recipes that happen to be said villagers' favorite items. The game has to update before I can actually start playing, and I don't know when this was introduced, but there's a minigame that lets you earn bells while you wait for it to download. If you have slow Wi-Fi, you can actually earn a lot more bells doing this. My internet speeds are not the fastest either, so it took a bit for my data to download, and I ended up earning 2,750 bells. And boom, the game officially begins now. Like every Animal Crossing game, Pocket Camp operates on a real-time basis, so it's now evening in my game, and the first thing I decided to do was redecorate my campsite. I mean, it is my campsite, isn't it? So I should be in control of everything. I saved the initial design first just to keep it for memories, and then rearranged all the items I currently had so it felt more my speed. I decided to talk to Goldie since the game was telling me to do so. First of all, how the heck is she sitting on that hammock without it sinking into the ground? Anyways, I yapped with her some more and our friendship increased by a few more points, and I hit level 3. Wow, if I got rewards for getting closer with my friends, I would actually try and socialize more in real life. This task is a part of Isabelle's stretch goals, which are simple goals to help you get accustomed to the game. You get pretty helpful rewards for completing them, so it is worth your time. By talking to a campsite villager, I got a cooking fire as a reward, and I also got 5 leaf tokens for becoming a camp manager, 20 more leaf tokens for chatting with the campsite villager, this was a separate goal, and 50 historical essences for saving my campsite layout to my save sets, which was clearly something the game didn't expect me to do right away, hence the hefty reward. I couldn't even hold all 50 of them since I'm still low leveled, so 20 of them got sold automatically for bells. Many of these goals give you leaf tokens, like getting 10 for retrieving something from your mailbox, so it's really easy to get a lot of them early on, unlike those rotted leaf tickets from before. Plus, there's daily goals, which are goals that refresh daily and help you get even more bells and items as rewards for doing things you'd most likely be doing anyways. The next thing I did was choose a camp caretaker, which is a feature that's now available for all players. It lets you assign a villager to complete even more villager requests and also help catch critters and collect items. Since I just started, the only person I was able to ask was Goldie, who's literally my only friend right now, and thankfully she accepted the role. It might have been by force, but I'm happy to have her help me. And she immediately got to work and completed extra requests for the visiting villagers, and she caught a stick bug. What a diva. She does this every 3 hours when the game refreshes, and you earn 5 friendship points each time she does it. So because of this first time, we're now at level 4 already, and I'm able to dress her up. Spoiler alert, this feature is OP, as you'll see throughout the video. For starters, anything they do for you counts towards your progress, meaning if they find critters or complete a request, the game counts it as something you did, which helps you complete stretch goals, meaning I got even more item rewards like these cute furniture items and crafting materials because Goldie got her hands dirty for me. And best of all, they follow you around like a little puppy dog, literally in Goldie's case. More places unlocked on the map, so I decided to head to Lost Lure Creek. It's a river area home to even more fruit trees and river fish, obviously. Also visiting the area was Rosie, who was in need of an orange. She gave me bells and wood as a reward, and because our friendship leveled up to 1, my player level went up to 2. Each time your player levels up, you get 1,000 bells and 50 leaf tokens as a reward. I also unlocked Eugene. Not that I care, and more crafting recipes, including ones for the items I already owned. I discovered that you can now trade up to 50,000 bells for a total of 100 leaf tokens each month. This is replacing the nasty microtransactions from the old version of the game, and I think it's a cool feature. I did some more goals and then caught a pike and a catfish, which was neat, and then caught even more fish using a large throw net, which costs 5 tokens, but was totally worth it. Before continuing with my grind, I decided to visit Whistle Pass. This area was introduced in Pocket Pocket Camp complete and is now where KK Slider comes to perform every evening at 7 p.m. I love the design of this place. The mountain in the background, the trees and grass, and the cozy vibe of the concert area. It looks awesome, but a bit empty. In order to fill the place up, you need to collect other players' camper cards. I won't be doing this until much later in the video, so I'll talk about it more then. But for now, I decided to create my own first. Each card comes with a QR code that you scan in-game to have players visit. So if you'd like to scan mine, here's my current one at the time of recording. I'll share an updated one at the end of the video if you want to scan that instead. Goldie ended up doing even more camp caretaker work since my game refreshed while I was playing. It does that every 3 hours. But after that, I headed to Breezy Hollow where Rosie was now staying and did even more of her requests to level up our friendship again. I decided to try and invite her to my campsite, but she rejected me. In order for her to come, I need to craft certain items. I already had most of them, but all that was missing was a lovely love seat, which I did have enough materials for. While waiting for it to complete because I was not gonna spend another token, I went back to Lost Lure Creek and met Apollo. To invite him to my campsite, I crafted a modern sofa and did his requests to get our friendship up to level 2, and then did the same with Jay over at Sunburst Island, who wants a striped sofa. I went up to level 3 after doing his requests and got the usual rewards plus Freya, as well as Pete's parcel services, which lets you complete your villagers' requests without actually having to travel to them. Sunburst Island is also where you can find bugs, so I caught a bunch and used the beetle honey to get even more, some of which were rare. Saltwater Shores, on the other hand, is home to ocean fish, but Eugene was currently over there, and I did not feel like socializing with him, so I headed for the marketplace instead, which is the shopping district, where you can find the Able sisters selling clothes, so I decided to buy some shirts for me and Goldie, and the Nook twins are also here selling furniture alongside fortune cookies. These hold exclusive items, and there are 3 types you can get for 500 bells each: Timmy's, Tommy's, and clothing fortune cookies. There are also special kinds of fortune cookies that hold unique themed items, each belonging to a villager in the game. They swap out every month and cost only 5 leaf tokens each, which compared to 50 leaf tickets in the old game makes them a lot more affordable now. I decided to spend 25 leaf tokens on a box of Julia's fortune cookies and 25 more on a box of Rhonda's, and I ended up getting the 5-star item in Rhonda's set right away, which, fun fact, is the first time I ever got a 5-star item while playing this game. I headed back to my campsite eager to decorate once again, but was forced to sit through a tutorial for the garden. It's a garden. You plant flowers and harvest them. Moving on. It's time to start Nope. Jingle's here now telling me about some gardening event. I don't care. Can I finally start decorating now? I got a bunch of new items throughout my day, so I made sure to include as many of them as I could, including the 3 new couches for my upcoming campsite villagers, who I obviously invited over as well. Let's ignore how that hammock looks while Apollo's sleeping on it. I looked through my craftable items afterwards and saw a section called Reese's Wares, which gives you access to previous special items that you're able to craft for a limited time. I decided to get Isabel's Leisure Tree, which basically lets Isabel visit your campsite. Oh my god, hey Diva, how's it going? I ended off my first day at Shovel Strike Quarry, and yeah, I spent 20 leaf tokens to get in and had kind of a mid-run, but hey, a win is a win. Moving on, day 1 is officially complete, and we still have 29 more days to get through, so going forward, I wanted to set some goals just to keep my gameplay somewhat organized, mainly so I'd have an easier time editing. The first being to try and reach level 50 by the end of the month. I also have dreamies for my campsite, those being Agnes, Biscuit, Dobie, Fang, Gonzo, Lopez, Margie, Melba, Poppy, Pietro, Teddy, Whitney, and Wolfgang. Oh my god, that's so many. And yes, those are my favorite villagers, plus ones for my island in New Horizons. And with that out of the way, let's move on to day 2, which, it's gonna be awkward to explain this. You see, I played day 2 off camera because I came up with the idea for this video after I finished playing for the day. So I'm just gonna move on to day 3 and show off what I did. I promise it's not much. I just simply leveled up all the way to level 10. No big deal. Oh, and I have 239 leaf tokens as well. You get a lot when you level up 7 times and complete a bunch of goals. I also unlocked a bunch of new villagers as well, and met a few of them, including Bam, Dottie, Filbert, Mary, Freya, Eugene, and Tia. And I placed down my first amenity, the natural tent. I crafted furniture to invite Bam to my campsite, as well as the ancient temple amenity since I had a bunch of historical essences lying around, and since it completed the next day, I held a ceremony for its unveiling. My friendship with Jay went up to level 5, and you can see the progress I made with other villagers off camera as well. And because of that, I'm now at level 11. So I got more of the usual rewards and unlocked Egbert and Lily. And thanks to Goldie, I made some progress with Jingle's garden event, and I will show off said progress now that we move on to day 3. Even though Goldie caught some bugs for me, I haven't actually started playing the event myself yet. So I finally planted the cyclamen seeds Jingle gave me on day 1. Every garden event in Pocket Camp works the same. Plant a specific flower, catch the special type of bug that spawns on said flower, ornament bugs in this case, and get rewards in exchange for the total bugs you caught. This month's rewards all come from the candlelit set, which is definitely an adorable fire hazard. I got a candlelit white table as well as some natural essences from the bugs I caught on day 3, and also got even more items thanks to Goldie. On day 2, I also redecorated my camper with one of the basic designs available, but now that I have a bunch of leaf tokens, I decided to go for a cooler design. OK Motors offers a wide array of special paint jobs for your camper, with the cooler ones obviously costing leaf tokens, including this hot dog one, which to no one's surprise is the one that I went with. And before taking my hot diggity dog camper on a spin, I chatted with my campsite villagers. Apollo gave me some crafting materials, which is something that happens every now and then if campers want to chat with you. Campers can also have requests once you reach high enough friendship levels, like I had with Jay, who wanted a bug. I casually gave him a horn dynastid I had on me, and then after he revealed that he got into a fight with Mary, he wanted to get her something as an apology gift and asked for my help to choose which item to give. I went with the green bench from the 3 options and went along with him to give it to Mary. Turns out, he got this bench from his gym bag, and it might stink because of that. And Mary still loved it? I feel like she was just lying to be nice, but if she wasn't, good for her, I guess. It had been a full 24 hours since I last played, meaning Goldie had done a ton of requests for visiting villagers while I was gone. I got a lot of rewards for her unpaid labor, including many cyclamen seeds and ornament bugs for the gardening event, and so many crafting items that the game had to automatically sell some of them because my storage was full. And thanks to the 40 friendship points I gained, our friendship is now at level 10, and I've unlocked her special request to craft a harpsichord. After meeting Puck and fishing at Lossler Creek, I decided to finally check out the pocket planner on the bottom right corner of the screen. It's a little agenda that keeps you in track of upcoming events. You're able to plop down stickers that reflect your mood at the time and have unique dialogue with your camp caretaker as well. There's also a shop where you can buy even more stickers as well as different themes for your planner, including a unicorn one, which I happily bought, and there's a section on the bottom where you're able to see even more seasonal goals. These happen every month and require you to collect a specific item and get rewards in exchange. For December, when I recorded this, it was Toy Day Bell Ornaments. You earn these through various events throughout the month, like the gardening event, and I already got one as a reward for completing a task, and in return, I got 100 leaf tokens. What the fuck? Other rewards this time around include special fortune cookies, Toy Day themed items like a star lamp, and even more leaf tokens and complete tickets, which you need to get special furniture from previous events. I collected my daily goal rewards and then finished up crafting all the furniture I had favorited to invite all the villagers I met yesterday. While doing this, I decided to unlock the first level of quick crafting, which shortens crafting times by 6 hours, meaning all the stuff I crafted today were done instantly. And I was able to invite Filbert, Freya, Bam, Dottie, Mary, Cherry, and Tia all in one day. I decided to swap my roster around now too, so all the girls plus Apollo are visiting my campsite. I met Tex at Saltwater Shores and he immediately asked me to help him pick a new outfit. I decided on the paw tee, which looked like that. But hey, he can't get mad at me. We just met. How was I supposed to know he wouldn't like it? The day ended with me trading 10,000 bells for 20 leaf tokens and then doing a bunch of villager requests so I could level up once again and get 50 more leaf tokens. And then I officially ended day 3 by queening out with the girls at the campsite. Yes! I began day 4 by crafting Goldie's special item, which is going to take 18 hours to finish. And speaking of Goldie, so many of my garden tasks are now complete thanks to her catching a bunch of bugs for me. I got many rewards and then planted more flowers and finished the first page of garden goals, getting me my second bell ornament, which got me 2 complete tickets. I also started the Bring on the Bells goals today, which is all about earning bells. The goals are pretty simple, so I managed to complete the first page immediately. thanks to Goldie obviously, and I got leaf tokens, a bunch of treats, and Eric's fortune cookie as rewards, the latter of which I ate and got a gift box that's actually a handheld item. Goldie ended up doing even more requests and other stuffs while I was playing, and now I'm at friendship level 11. I decided to do some villager requests on my own and met Egbert, and boom, now I'm at level 13. I unlocked Muffy and Bunny, and now I'm able to change my campsite's terrain. I felt like buying more fortune cookies, so I ended up getting 5 of Egbert's as well as 5 of Kit's, and managed to get some pretty sick items like this giant cozy bed. With all these cute items in my possession, I wanted to decorate the inside of my camper, but before doing that, I went over to OK Motors to expand the interior first. You do this by talking to Giovanni, and there's a cute little loading screen while you wait for it to upgrade, and once they finish, the interior is now bigger, and you only get a loan of 10,000 bells. And I mean, I have more than enough bells to pay it off right now, so I did exactly that. Giovanni offered to upgrade my camper again and add a second floor afterwards, so I said okay. The outside of my camper still looks the same, but somehow there's a second floor on the inside. I'm not gonna question it. The new loan is now 30,000 bells, and I figured it would be smart to pay it off later since I don't have as many bells at the moment. Now that my camper has more space on the inside, let's actually decorate it. I obviously did the best I could with what I had, but I would still say it's an improvement from before. My main floor now looks like this, and the second floor looks like this, and yes, that is a big ass bed. I wish I had it in real life. I did more villager requests, met more new villagers, and then headed back to my campsite to place down the pipe park amenity, since it's cute. I leveled up some of my friendships by yapping with villagers, which made me reach level 14, and oh my god, it's Fang! I will definitely be on the lookout for him in the future. When I reached level 10 on day 2, I also unlocked Happy Homeroom, and I finally played it for the first time today. It's run by Lottie, and it's a place to help you improve your interior design skills. You're tasked with collecting specific items for each room, and you earn up to 3 medals based on how well you do. For my first room, I only had one of the required items, a ranch table. Luckily, you don't need every item to design the room, and I still managed to get 1 medal with the stuff I chose, meaning I still passed by doing the bare minimum, just like my university degree. I also leveled up my rank and am now an HH Initiate, which rewarded me with 50 leaf tokens and a jacket. I continued on to the next room, which was for Rosie, and I didn't have a single bed that would work for the room. You could probably guess how it went for me. Yeah, I could have just crafted the items beforehand like I am now, but I wanted to test my talents and see if I was able to design it my way. So much for individualism, I guess. I ranked up again and decided to spend 3 leaf tokens to play 3 more rooms, starting with Jay. This time around, I was big-brained and actually crafted the items beforehand and passed with flying colors, which caused me to go up 2 levels to amateur rank 2. So I got so many rewards, 50 leaf tokens, a bunch of Blathers maps, and recipes for golden furniture. I did a few more rooms, all of which I didn't have items for, but whether it was by spending tokens to have Lottie help me or just by choosing a good alternative, I managed to pass each room and earned enough medals to go up to amateur rank 4. I checked out Blathers' treasure check next since I had unlocked all those maps, and to my surprise, there was a map available to unlock Teddy just sitting there? Turns out it's a reward you get when you find your first map, according to the wiki at least, but I love that it's just there without any indication. Ideally, you would sacrifice specific crafting materials to roll and have a chance of getting items on the map, but considering that it's only 5 leaf tokens to auto-trek and get everything, you best believe I did that for Teddy's map. I now have a bunch of treats and Teddy, who I immediately invited to my campsite. Sorry to Dottie for kicking her out. Oh, and all those treats I got, I gave a bunch of them to Teddy, and now our friendship is at level 11. Can you tell he's my favorite jock in the game? I went up 2 levels because of that, and for reaching level 15, I unlocked more space to hold items, and Margie, that's another dreamie I need to track down stat. Also as a reward, I now have access to the cabin. It's basically the same as your campsite, but indoors, aka more room to decorate and invite villagers to. I ended off day 4 by checking out the complete catalog, since I had 2 tickets to spend. It lets you find any event items from the past, and each one of them cost only 1 ticket. I got so overwhelmed seeing this for the first time. There are so many cool items. In hindsight, I should have just saved the tickets for later, but I panicked and bought a cheese sculpture instead. Don't judge me. I also got this Lily Valley terrarium though, that I never ended up actually using. but it's still cute. Goldie's special item finished crafting the next day, as well as the pipe park. I got 1,000 bells for fulfilling Goldie's dream of having a harpsichord, and my friendships with Tia and Teddy also leveled up. I did some gardening and caught a bunch of ornament bugs, and that, plus Goldie's hard work, scored me another 2 bell ornaments. I chatted with my campers, and Goldie did even more requests while I was doing that, and now our friendship is at level 14. I decided to auto-track a bell map that I had just to speed along the bell earning goals, and I ended up getting another bell ornament, and now that I have 4, I got 100 more leaf tokens as a reward. And then something major happened. Fang popped up on my map. I headed straight to Sunburst Island, and before talking to him, I just caught some of the bugs in the area to not look desperate. And then I said hey, and my player level went up to 17 while I did his requests. And then I gave him a bunch of treats to boost up our friendship to level 5. So not desperate of me. But hey, at least he's agreed to come to my campsite. Yeah, I had to craft all of his favorite items to get him to come, but at least he's coming, right? Unfortunately, I had to kick out Tia to make room for my man, which is sad for her, but oh well. I gave Fang a new outfit to celebrate, but since the villagers are the older models in this game, every clothing item given fits like a tank top, including this cozy cardigan. I met a bunch of villagers and reached level 18 after doing more requests, which upgraded my storage once again. And after getting another bell ornament, I did some shopping and then crafted a bunch of clothes to change some villagers' outfits. I also crafted a new outfit for myself, and the fit may be atrocious, but I love it. And then I checked my goals and saw that it was telling me to check out Gulliver's shipment thing, whatever it's called. There were actually a ton of my dreamies that are exclusively found via these islands, including Lopez, whose map was currently available. So I crafted some shipping items and sent off a ship to said island to hopefully get it. It's gonna take 6 hours for the voyage to finish, so I'll check in the next day. I got rewarded for doing so and then ended off the day at Happy Homeroom, where I designed a few more rooms and reached amateur rank 5. Thank you for the many rewards, Lottie. Day 6 saw the end of the garden event, so I gave all my extra critters to Jingle and was rewarded extra bells in the mail. And now that the event is over, Goldie is finally catching normal critters again. I met some more new villagers and helped Kid give a striped bed to Jay, completed all my bell goals, and reached level 19. Gulliver also returned and had 2 parcels to show. The first had Blanche's map, and I had to pay 12 leaf tokens to open up the second one, which did not have Lopez. I was gonna give up, but when I opened the island info and saw that Dobie's map was also available on this island, I had to load up another ship with items to send off and try again. And when he came back the next day with 4 parcels, the first one had Dobie in it. Okay. I paid 12 tokens to open up the second one, which had a complete ticket, and then paid 8 more tokens to open up the third, which had Lopez. Boom! 2 more dreamies have been found. I decided to open up the final parcel anyway that had Gala's map, and then auto-tracked both Lopez and Dobie's maps and got way too many treats alongside them. I leveled up once again after meeting more new villagers, and now that I'm at level 20, there's more room for campers at my campsite. How fitting, since I have 2 new friends coming over. Of course I invited them and immediately gave them both a bunch of treats to boost up our friendships, as one would do, and thanks to the huge boost, I leveled up once again. I did some more requests and saw in my catalog afterwards that there were a lot of Christmas trees available to craft, so I figured, you know what? With the holidays coming up, I might as well try and turn my campsite into a Christmas village. I crafted every tree, of course, as well as the cozy bonfire place, Jingle's holiday balloon, and Brewster's winter cafe, and I bought the Merry Village background as well. But I decided to save tokens and keep my sky and foreground the same, considering the fact that I already spent 700 of them. It's actually so wild to see how you're able to transform your campsite in this game, especially now that items are a lot easier to get. Also, look at Jingle in the balloon. That is so unserious. 2 events began the next day, a fishing tourney as well as a happy homeroom challenge. I also got 2 gold balloon presents on my map, both from Tia. Clearly, she's trying to bribe her way back to my campsite. After checking in with Goldie and our friendship leveling up again, I looked at my map and saw that Margie was actually here, so I beelined straight to her, crafted her required items, and completed her requests immediately. As a welcome gift, I fed Margie a bunch of treats, and now that we're at level 10, her special request for a tile screen is unlocked, which will finish crafting tomorrow. I also chatted with the rest of my campers, leveled up once again to level 23, and learned from Teddy that he's lost an item at at saltwater shores, so I'll be on the lookout for it. Speaking of, that's where I headed next, as it was the start of the fishing tourney. It's normally hosted by CJ, but for December, Jingle is back once again to take over. For this Toy Day themed tourney, you gotta catch different types of starfish in exchange for bell ornaments and Toy Day items. I did some catching and ended up getting some prizes right away: a wooden trophy, a bell ornament, and some sporty essences. I also got 2 more bell ornaments for completing tourney challenges as well. Full transparency, there isn't much of a challenge to fishing tourneys or any event in the game, to be honest. It's really easy to grind out the rewards as well, which is what I ended up doing for a bit. I got a bunch of tourney throw nets for free, so I used all of them to get a ton of fish and ended up reaching so many size goals and finishing challenges pretty quickly, bagging me 2 more bell ornaments and a silver trophy. Happy homeroom challenges also began today. These are special rooms where you're not told which items you need prior to decorating. It really puts your skill to the test to see if you're able to find the correct items on your own. And I flopped at this. For some reason with Fauna's room, the only items I had available were some tulips and propane tanks, which are clearly not on theme, and I definitely struggled to find what I needed, so I gave up immediately. Moving on, I continued grinding out the fishing tourney the next day, and Goldie helped out as well, and she also caught a coelacanth. Wow. While fishing, I noticed that there was an item in a palm tree and realized that I completely forgot about Teddy's lost item. At least I finally found it. I also caught about 500 more centimeters of fish and got even more rewards, and then I also ended up catching a coelacanth. I guess they decided to migrate to my shores today. I met some new villagers, did more requests, and then finally reunited Teddy with his lost bag. Hopefully, there wasn't any food in it. I also finished Margie's special request and then chatted with my campers and learned that Freya wanted to give a thank you gift to Bianca and asked for my help. Of the options, I decided on the smoker because I thought it would be funny, but she ended up liking it. So I guess I hit 2 birds with 1 stone, or in this case, a bunch of meat. I ended the day by crafting some more items for my campsite and was obsessed with the way villagers interacted with all of these items, like Apollo with the snowman, or more importantly, Margie in a boot. Guys, I'm starting to feel bad about the amount of work Goldie's doing for me. Sure, our friendship's improving, which means she likes doing this stuff, but it still feels wrong. Look how many items she keeps giving me. Where is she getting these from? My campers, on the other hand, are also super nice. I got some money from Mary and a rare fish from Rosie and leveled up our friendships, but this feels deserved since I do way too much for these people. At least doing all these requests for villagers pays off though, as I'm now at level 26. Anyways, back to the fishing tourney, which is obviously going easy for me because of Goldie. I ended up catching enough fish to get even more rewards, including the gold fish trophy. I decided to use the complete ticket I had today as well, and this time on a special fortune cookie, which you can access through the Nook Twins. You aren't able to pick what specific item you want using this, but it still beats having to spend leaf tokens. I managed to get this cute scholarly desk from Raven's fortune cookie. And speaking of spending leaf tokens, I ended up doing that on a box of Egberts. I really wanted that knickknack shelf, and to my luck, I managed to get 2 of them. I had so many items that I got over the past few days and decided to finally head to my cabin and redecorate it. The fishing tourney items are pretty sick, to be honest, and to me, they go really well in a cabin themed room, so I ended up with this. It's cute enough for me, and I guess it's safe to say that bribing me works, because I decided to invite Tia over to fill up the space. I'm not super close with my cabin villagers as of now, mainly because I keep forgetting about this place, but I'm not sure if I want to change that considering Bam is sitting on a bamboo bench that's clearly being used as a coffee table. I got a bell ornament from the fishing tourney earlier today, and my reward for it was another Egbert cookie, which also had a knick-knack shelf in it. Okay game, thank you for your generosity. There was also a fauna cookie available for 5,000 bells, and I must say, it feels weird buying special cookies with bells nowadays. I remember exclusively doing this in the original game, but now that I'm buying them with tokens, I never look forward to them being available for bells anymore. Kix is another merchant that shows up at the marketplace, and he finally arrived for the first time on day 11. So I obviously bought some shoes. I met Carrie, who was smacking her child's head a bunch while chatting with me, and Goose, who asked me for help in getting Puck a gift. What am I, a sales clerk? Why can't these people pick out gifts on their own? I refreshed Gulliver's Islands once again and finally got the one that had Biscuits map. I got to work crafting items and sending off a shift, and because I was impatient, I spent leaf tokens to bring it back immediately. And though it came back with 4 souvenirs, none of them were biscuits. Fine, I'll send off another ship, but let's be smart this time and not spend leaf tokens and just do the fishing journey while I wait. Wow, look at all these fish I caught and items I got in return. Okay. Yeah, I can't wait. Let's just spend more leaf tokens. He brought 4 more souvenirs and Biscuit isn't here either. But Nate is, and he's also an orange lazy villager, so I'm getting warmer. You know what that means. One more time. I already got 80% of the items off this island, so he has to come home this time, right? Right? Oh, he actually did. Oh my god. Obviously, I auto-trekked the map and brought him to my campsite and did the usual bribery so he knows how much I love him, which benefited me as I'm now at level 28. And then I gave him an adorable new outfit and also gave the extra treats to Fang because that's my man, okay? And I ended off day 11 by crafting the mustache matryoshka since that was Fang's special request item that I ended up unlocking, which finished crafting the next day, and now our friendship is at level 13. I also leveled up again after meeting some new divas, and then decided to take a crack at Gulliver's Islands once again. I realized while prepping items that you could just ship off a bunch of crafting materials instead, especially because my storage is always full of them thanks to the camp caretaker. It's way more convenient than crafting shipment items, and now I kinda wish I'd been doing this the whole time. Because I had an abundance of materials, I sent off ships to all 3 islands this time, one of which was a fortune cookie island that didn't meet as many shipments, so I spent a few tokens to bring the ship back right away and got 5 special fortune cookies. I would say this was a successful hunt if I didn't spend so many tokens to open all of these. I ate all the cookies and got a lot of 3 and 4 star items, including literal fairy wings, which I ended up giving to Mary afterwards. The game refreshed while I was playing today, so there were more new villagers to meet now, 2 of which asked for my help. Once again, June wanted a new outfit, so I went with a beatnik tee that she low-key hated, not that I blame her for that, and then Cube asked me for help with a gift for Lopez, and I went with the classic bed. I hope that doesn't send any mixed signals. My friendship with Goldie increased once again to level 20, and as a reward, I got her photo. And now that I have this special reward, I decided it was finally time for Goldie to retire as camp caretaker, and finally be able to relax at my campsite, which is probably what she wanted to do this entire time. And sure, I do feel bad for the amount of work the caretaker has to do, but I still appointed a new one, that being Biscuit, which feels more fitting as now he's the one who follows me around and shows up with me at Whistle Pass if you scan this QR code instead, and also because having a man do all my hard work for me just feels nicer. I'm not sure why. Day 13 marked the start of the Scarab Beetle event, which consists of catching scarab beetles alongside other bugs for rewards. So I might as well just head to Sunburst Island and get started on that. It was also Biscuit's first day as my caretaker, and he put his butt to work and caught a bunch of fish for me, but only 1 bug. Not a good start, bestie. I decided to use the 3 honey jars I got way back when, plus a beetle jar to catch even more bugs, but only got 1 scarab beetle. They obviously spawn at Sunburst Island, but it took a while for them to slowly start spawning in. I managed to complete some goals, and then to speed along them, I used a bunch more beetle honey jars to just catch a bunch of beetles, and ended up finishing the goals right away. It's a pretty simple task overall, and sure, I wish there was more to it, but maybe I wouldn't have felt that way if I just took my time with it instead. I leveled up once again after doing requests to no one's surprise, and while playing the fishing tourney, I finally realized that I finished all the tasks, and since I already had the gold trophy, I was only getting repeats. So there really isn't a reason for me to keep doing this. Bye! Gulliver also returned with many souvenirs, but none of them were villagers I actually wanted. Just a bunch of flops and 2 complete tickets. I refreshed the islands once again, and the one that had Gonzo's map popped up, so I took my chances. I managed to get a bunch of tokens from the ornaments I collected, plus from completing goals, so I ended off the day by spending a bunch of leaf tokens on new clothes for me, Margie, and Lopez. Even though every top is a tank top on villagers, Margie looked really good with that V-neck sweater on. It basically turned into a sweater vest. Gulliver is back, and it's time to see if Gonzo's map is gonna be in my possession. The first souvenir has Tybalt. Okay. The next one has a complete ticket, which is better, I guess. What about the third? Oh, nope, just some leaf tokens. I'll take those. Is he in the fourth? No. It's Anka though, so that's nice. But all that's left is souvenir number 5, which had Gonzo's map. The game knew how to build suspense for that. You already know I brought him to the campsite right away, and now he's reunited with his husband Dobie, since they're also married in my New Horizons save. I sent off another ship afterwards to try and get Sprocket's map just for fun, and to unload the massive amounts of steel I had, and then leveled up to 32 after completing more villager requests. And I ended off the day at Happy Homeroom once again, where I was tasked with designing a room for Marshall without any of the required items. I tried my best and was just so close to passing, but I had to spend 3 more tokens just to have Lottie help me. I needed 3 more medals to rank up, so I decided to do the next room for Boo Bear. And though I didn't have the Weeping Fig, I had plants that looked similar, so I thought it would count, but this time I was literally 1 point away from getting 3 medals. So, I had Lottie help me out again, and I thank her for that because I ranked up once again. On day 15, my friendship was at a high enough level to unlock Biscuit's special request, an alarm clock. I also wanted to increase my player level, so I gave Gonzo a bunch of treats to get our friendship up to level 9. I also managed to get Sprocket's map from Gulliver, so I auto-tracked his map and decided to invite him to my cabin. I figured a robot being out in the snow would be dangerous for his wiring. I ended up being really close to level 36 at the end of the day, so I decided to just meet Gaston for the first time and give him a bunch of treats to boost our friendship up to level 9. I love buying friendships, and even though there's no benefit, I still decided to invite a bunch of villagers to my campsite. I do wish there was some reward for hitting certain numbers aside from Isabel coming over every 10th villager, but I guess it's good that I did this since I now have a bunch more furniture to use for Happy Homeroom. I invited 19 villagers and went from 20 to 39 total guests. But to round it up to an even 40, I also invited Gaston, who I literally never did a request for. Why did we turn the campsite into an emergency room for him to come? I didn't play much for the next few days, to be honest, so I'm gonna fly through and share the highlights. Starting on day 16, where I finished up Biscuit's special request and then met a bunch of new villagers, including Sandy, who wanted to get a gift for Filbert. So I just went with the EKG machine, which he didn't like for some reason. I leveled up while doing more requests and then went to the beach for a coconut, but was forced to give all the fish that Biscuit caught over the last few days. Thank you, Diva, for all of these rewards. The fishing tourney was officially over on day 17, and overall, I enjoyed it, but it definitely went on a little too long for my liking. But then again, if I wasn't grinding as hard, it probably would have not gotten boring right away. I said hi to a bunch of new villagers once again, and Mitzi was the one to ask for gift advice this time, but because it was for Apollo, I chose the modern desk, which was the best case scenario. I like Apollo a lot if you couldn't tell, and I made it to level 38 by the end of the day as well. The Gyrodite scavenger hunt began the next day, and the items you get as rewards are pretty cute. Gyrotites are scattered all across the map, but Biscuit, being the bestie that he is, also collected a bunch for me, and I ended up getting 90 right away. Oh my god. I got bell ornaments as rewards for completing the goals though, so hey Biscuit, keep it up. I crafted some of the Gyrodite items, including the new PJ set as well, and that means I have a new outfit now, baby. Dobie came up to me afterwards saying he lost an item over at OK Motors, which reminded me that I still have an RV loan to pay off. So I did exactly that and went to expand the second floor, which came out to a total of 50,000 bells. And since I'm loaded now, I just paid it off once again. Giovanni offered to expand my main floor afterwards, and now had a loan of 100,000 bells that I paid off right away once again and was able to supersize the main floor, leaving me with the new loan of 150,000 bells, which I'm gonna hold off on paying for now. I quickly redecorated my camper once again, and don't worry, I did remember to get Dobie's lost book and gave it back to him as well. And now, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do much for the next 3 days. I think the result of playing for the last 18 days was starting to take a toll on me, and I was a little bored by this point. I decided to keep it extremely casual for now. I literally just logged in, did a couple requests here and there, and just vibed out for a bit. When you aren't focused on grinding, the game is quite cozy. I ended day 21 in real life by posting an updated QR code and asked people to reply with theirs so I can add them in the game the next day. I went back to my usual grind on day 22 and started off the day by unlocking Biscuit's photo. I also managed to collect enough Gyrodites to finish the goals that required collecting a certain amount of them, thanks to Biscuit of course. So all that's left is crafting the required furniture, so I started doing that. But I definitely need more Gyrodites to craft everything, so I'll hold off on completing them for now. And remember a few moments ago when I tweeted out my QR code? Yeah, I got over 100 replies to the tweet and spent a very long time scanning every code that I got at the time. I got a notification that someone was visiting my Whistle Pass after finishing and was automatically sent over there, and saw a ton of y'all visiting my game. I was able to queen out with players and even ask them for their help with getting into the quarry. My game did refresh while I was here, and since it was now 7 p.m, everyone was at the KK Slider concert. Y'all, it's literally oomph-chella out here. I also got 3 helpers for the quarry and visited it once again, and got 3 silver nuggets and 2 gold nuggets this time around, and as a reward, I got 99 gyroidites. Yeah, this is overpowered, especially when you consider that I got even more gyroidites from Biscuit as well as EJ Plays, who also gave me a Toy Day card. It's pretty easy to complete this scavenger hunt now. I say this, but I ended up spending leaf tokens to finish crafting the gyroidite items just so I could finish the goals 6 days in advance. Don't judge me. Besides, I got a bunch of leaf tokens in return from a bell ornament, so I would say it was worth it. It really wasn't. But look, I leveled up again to level 39. I promise you I'm not that dumb of a player. The cool crustaceans goals began the next day, with the main goal being to catch 40 fish and 5 spider crabs. Biscuit caught many fish for me, but none of them were spider crabs. Goldie would never. Day 23 actually happened for me on December 25th, which is Christmas in real life. Nothing happened in the game though, aside from villagers talking about Toy Day. Well, technically Toy Day is on the 24th of December though, so if something did happen the day before, I gotta be honest, I was not paying attention. I decided to grind out the crustacean goals in one go by spending a bunch of tokens on throw nets, and managed to even make a profit on leaf tokens by getting the rewards. I played the quarry once again and got even more leaf tokens by doing 3 more trades since the month was almost over anyways. After doing my dailies the next day and reaching level 40, I decided to redecorate my campsite once again now that Christmas is over. I went for a full makeover, which included buying the full elegant town layout plus the floating market sky, and crafted a bunch of items that I thought would work for an urban village vibe. It's definitely a work in progress, but I also crafted Tom Nook and Digby's special items, so they're now visiting my campsite too. And then I ended off the day by crafting a few amenities as well, since I had a bunch of materials to boost up my friendships. Like most days, I started day 25 by doing many requests and checking in with Biscuit. Of these requests, Freya asked for a fruit to help with her digestive issues. The poor girl was constipated, so I gave her a perfect pear, as I hear they have a ton of fiber. I also met Bud today, and to no one's surprise, he asked me for help with a gift for someone. I wasn't paying attention to who it was, so I just went with the kitty dresser. Turns out it was for Lobo, who obviously didn't like it. Oh well, I got the same amount of friendship points anyways, which was helpful since I leveled up once again. And then I realized I was still in my Christmas pajamas, so quickly changed into a cuter outfit. I mean, I did spend all those leaf tokens on these a while ago, so might as well put them to good use. As you saw throughout the video, I've collected many villager maps thanks to Gulliver, and since I was low on treats, I decided to complete all of them. Yeah, it did take a very long time on my end, and I blew through many leaf tokens, auto-trekking all of them, but it was worth it as I leveled up once again and got 50 leaf tokens right back. I also have a bunch of new villagers to invite, so I chose to bring Anka, Nate, and Lolly for the time being. As for the treats, I now have a bunch of them in my storage, so I decided to give them all to my campers. Yeah, you heard me right. I gave Fang, Dobie, Teddy, Lopez, and Margie enough to get them all to level 20 and unlock their photos, and did the same with Anka, who I literally just met. I also gave many treats to Goldie as a way of thanking her for being my first camp caretaker, and the rest of them went to Cherry and Biscuit. Boosting my friendships up like crazy also caused me to go from level 41 to level 46, so you could imagine all the leaf tokens I got for doing so. I did some minor renovations to my campsite and then ended off this hectic day with even more hard work by crafting all the basic amenities I had available as well. And yeah, I spammed a lot of those leaf tokens I just got into this, and even more to shorten crafting times once again to get these done quick. Doing all this boosted my friendships up again though, making me reach level 47, and boom, I unlocked Agnes, my best friend in the whole game. All those friendship level ups from yesterday also meant I unlocked a bunch of special requests, specifically a wooden bear for Teddy, a pyramid for Anka, an editor's chair for Dobie, a modern wood TV for Lopez, and a whole ass sports car for Cherry. All of these would have taken around 5 to 12 hours to finish, so I obviously spent leaf tokens. Yeah, you already know that, like I don't need to explain it. I fulfilled all their requests and got Cherry's photo as well as a calling card, which I decided to finally finally used, since I had a bunch of them, to call up Agnes. I went to Sunburst Island to do this and got to work yapping with her and feeding her treats to get her friendship up to level 7. And then after leveling up myself and crafting the required furniture, I brought her over to the campsite where she immediately got cozy with Anka and Cherry. Okay, girl, I see you. Also, sorry to Nate because I had to kick him out to make room. Day 27 marked the beginning of the Together event. It's basically a minigame where you tap your screen a bunch to set off fireworks for the new year. Why is the Eiffel Tower here? I don't know. But I played the first round and managed to set off 80 blasts, rewarding me with 5 leaf tokens and a fireworks show in the middle of the day. I did it once again and managed to get 107 blasts this time, only to get the exact same reward. Okay, it's a cute minigame and the firework cutscenes are adorable, but I don't really have much else to say about it. The Gyrodite event was ending soon, and since I already finished the goals a while ago, I decided to sell all the extra ones I had for 51,200 bells. And then I ended off the day at Happy Homeroom once again, and now that I have a lot more campers, this was starting to get easier. I even managed to get my rank up once again, but then I was met with designing a room for Marshall, which required furniture items that I did not have any way of getting. Once again, I gave up and just ended off the day by crafting a bunch of cool stuff that Cyrus had available, and then reaching level 49 by leveling up all my basic amenities. The next day was pretty chill. Biscuit collected a bunch of Gyrodites once again, I loaded up a Gulliver ship just because, and then I yapped with my campers. Lopez actually wanted my help with the gift for Chevre, to which I went with the EKG machine once again, and she actually liked it. Good to see that there are so many aspiring doctors in this world. I didn't know what else to do today, so I decided to actually do my daily goals for once. Usually Biscuit does enough things to complete them for me, but that didn't happen today. Luckily, today's goals were to just go over to Breezy Hollow and harvest a bunch of fruit once again, so it ended up being a pretty chill day. Day 29 was New Year's Eve in real life, and also was the day that the Gyrodite event finally ended. And it was also the last day for the Bell Ornament event, and unfortunately for me, I didn't get enough of them. Even though I played a lot, I definitely slacked off with the gardening event at the beginning of the month, so that's probably why I only got 28. Some of the villagers I talked to had dialogue for the New Year's, which was cute, and by chatting with them, I finally made it to level 50, meaning I could finally check off one of my goals on the second last day of the month. I'm not too mad though, since I also managed to unlock Whitney by leveling up, so that is another win. I also decided to visit my cabin, which I forgot about once again, and since I reached level 50, I unlocked the second floor to it. So I decided to do some redecorating. I just rearranged all the items I had on the first floor and then decided to display all the photos that I got on the second, as well as Jingle's hot air balloon, which has to be some kind of hazard when used indoors. I called Whitney afterwards and got to work on inviting her by crafting all her furniture and completing her villagers, blah, blah, blah. You already know what I did, here she is. Oh, and I brought Maddie to the campsite as well, since she is a baddie, and gave her all my bronze treats, because she deserves it. After leveling up, once again, I refreshed Gulliver's Islands a bunch until I finally found the one with Poppy's map on it. So I loaded up a ship and spent tokens to get the souvenirs back instantly, and Poppy's map was in the first one I opened. I also got Quinn's map and 10 leaf tokens, and now the only map I needed was Melba's. So I decided to refresh a bunch, each time costing me 10,000 bells, and after doing it for a tiny bit, I somehow blew through a lot of my bells and didn't get her map at all. So I should probably move on for my wallet's sake. I invited Poppy over and then auto-tracked some bell maps to get my money back, and now that I have more bells, I tried again, and 10 more times with no luck. I obviously have no self-control, but at least I leveled up again though after giving more treats to Whitney. Yeah, with that out of the way though, we now move on to the final day of this video. Day 30, which happens to be New Year's Day. I played first at 12 a.m. to see if there was anything special, but aside from some of my villagers wishing me a Happy New Year, there wasn't much else. January 1st was also the start of the new gardening event though, this time being run by Isabel. So I finally revisited my garden again to get started on it. This time around, the goal is to plant various peonies and catch checkerfly butterflies that spawn on them for Zen Cafe themed items. And this time around, Biscuit actually came in clutch with a bunch of butterflies when I played later on in the day, earning me a New Year's wreath, which is the special collectible item for this month. I also got another one from the announcement poster thing on the side here, and the rewards for the 2 wreaths were a casual 100 leaf tokens and complete tickets. After leveling up one more time, I headed over to the Nook Twins as now that it's a new month, there's new fortune cookies in stock. The items available this time around are so much cooler. They're all spa themed with the Japanese Zen style, and I wanted so many of these for my campsite. I ordered a bunch of Dobie's hot spring cookies and got many items, all ranging from 1 to 4 stars, and then I ordered 3 boxes of Cranston's cookies as well as Blanche's. I also saw that Blathers' bus stop was a special item available for 100 leaf tokens, so I bought that as well. I know I'm spending a lot of tokens today, but considering it's the final day, it's time I finally treated myself because I've totally been stingy with my tokens up to this point. I redesigned my campsite once again, and though I was happy with this layout, it's still a major work in progress. Poppy's fortune cookie set was also available for purchase, and I thought the items would look great in my cabin, and while purchasing a bunch of them, I managed to get the 5-star couch, which is major. I also managed to collect 14 stamp cards from all of my purchases, so I redeemed 10 of them for Dobie's 5-star outdoor spring bath, another item that is so sick. I obviously had to place down the bath at my campsite, and oh my god, the fact that villagers actually bathe in it is amazing. This item is now the most important item to me in this entire game. Both of the 5-star items I got also came with new memories, which are little cutscenes that you unlock by either inviting a specific set of villagers to your campsite or by unlocking 5-star fortune cookie items. Poppy's was about him meeting a new bird and bonding with it, which causes said bird to invite a bunch of his friends over to the point where it gets a little too crowded. And then Lopez comes over to this chaos and is like, damn bro, you live like this? And decides to help Poppy redecorate using his cookie set items to accommodate for all of the birds. And if you follow the Angry Coconut cinematic universe lore, this is not canon. Dobie's, on the other hand, had him visiting a world famous hot spring for the first time and finding different ways to relax. And it ends with him bathing in a giant hot spring alongside Weber and Rowan, just boys being boys. Oh, and remember way back on day 1 when I got Rhonda's 5-star item? Yeah, it also came with a memory, and it involves Bunny and Butch, and it's also very cute. The amount of detail put into this game is actually wild, especially for a mobile game. But that's pretty much the long summary of what I did for the last 30 days, and I had so much fun playing that I kept on going even after I finished recording. I played through the rest of January off camera and made a lot of progress, which includes completing Isabel's garden event and getting that cute cutscene and a ton of rewards. I also bought so many fortune cookies and even managed to complete Dobie's, Poppy's, and Blanche's entire sets. And yeah, I did use a lot of their items to decorate my cabin as well as my campsite, which now looks way better than before. I went 100% with the hot spring theme and used a lot of Dobie's items plus a few of Cranston's and Blanche's to bring it all together, and somehow I managed to do a lot without making it too crowded. And can I just say, I think the campsite is really cute. I'm also now at level 73, and believe it or not, I managed to unlock Wolfgang and Pietro. So I obviously stuffed them silly with treats and invited them both to the campsite, and I managed to get Melba's map as well. Don't ask me how many times I had to refresh for it, but just like that, I finally have all my dreamies at my campsite. Yeah, it took more than 30 days, but at least I was able to do it by the end of this video like I said I would. And that's pretty much the gist of my time in January. And now that it's February, there's a ton of new fortune cookies to get. But the only one that I'm really looking forward to spending tokens on is Hans's. I really like that whole wintry campsite theme he has going on. The events happening this month are more or less the same, so I might not play them as vigorously as I did before, but I'll try my best to get 30 pocket watchers by doing them. And with that, we're now at the end of the video. And I gotta say, as someone who hated Pocket Camp before, I've really come around to love this game. I don't plan on making any more videos like these for the game since I clearly enjoy playing it more on my own time, but I might check in from time to time over on the second channel, so subscribe to it if you'd like. I hope you all enjoyed this video. You could let me know by liking it and maybe pressing subscribe. That'd be nice. I also plan on exploring more of the older Animal Crossing games this year, including Wild World, which is coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. And until then, let's stare at these villagers queening out. Okay, bye.